You'll notice all my cows are like laying upside down.
Yeah. I think it went for a tornado spin. Landed upright.
It's like with the Wizard of Oz in there. What happened to my cows? Welcome to our Here We Grow soybean field. I get to be in the field today with IHRY Insurance. Hey Shane.
Hi Bridget.
What do you do?
Well, I'm an insurance advisor. I'm an insurance wizard. Let me delve deep into the mysteries of insurance so you don't have to.
What are the things you're going to insure?
Your tractors, your combines, your barns, your property, your fields.
So hold on. I can insure my tractor?
Yes.
All right. But what about my barn?
Absolutely.
And let's say I have cows.
We got livestock
in my barn.
All right.
How about those?
We love livestock.
I like that. All right. We get a chance to look at all of those things today in this field because we want to hit maximum bushels.
Absolutely.
And there's this road.
It looks like a liability issue to me, right?
Okay, we're going to need to talk about that.
We can create any custom farm policy that entails your operation, so.
Okay. When we get to the crop part of it, what do I have to do for the land? Because even though we're custom farming it, and I know we would insure our soybeans separately, what about the land underneath?
Yeah, that's a big liability issue that a lot of landowners face, right?
Don't fall down. I'm not
fall down.
For this.
You have people with roadways being built through them. There's all kinds of liability issues, and it's the fortunate part is it's the cheapest part of your policy.
Oh, okay.
Worst case scenario, got to be a shop fire.
Oh.
Why? You know, because farmers have more stuff than they think they do.
They do.
You know, personal property, oil, lubricants, grease, funny tools that fix funny things. Sure. You know, nobody accounts for all of that stuff. So, and when you get fuel, rubber, diesel burning hot, it burns steel beams too.
I am so excited. We're going to get everything protected in our Here We Grow plot. So thanks for spending time today, Shane.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate that. The insurance wizard. All right. Hey, Justin, what's going on over there?
Hey, thanks, Bridget. I'm here with Bethany Rents from IHRY Insurance. And Bethany, what can you tell me a little bit more about IHRY and maybe some insurances that we'll have to maybe worry about with our crop?
Hi, Justin. Yes, absolutely. First of all, your soybean field out here is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. We tried really hard on it.
Yeah, it
was looking good too.
It looks awesome. I noticed some of the plants still flowering, as well as a lot of pods starting to fill on the plant.
It's got lots of flowers on it still, and beans all the way. I mean, there's a lot of beans, and we got 3 pods.
Yeah, a lot of
pods in there, a few 4s.
Mm-hmm. Looks very good. Hopefully we've got quite a bit of time left in the growing season.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully there's no early frost. So speaking of that, what if we get an early frost, what kind of insurance is that going to fall under that we would have to have or get? Explain that to me a little bit.
Sure. So that would fall under your multi-peril policy, your MPCI policy that we spoke about a little bit earlier. But if you had a yield loss, so your production, your bushels were lower than what your guarantee was based off that T yield in the county or your established yield that you have from raising soybeans for previous years. What that would do is if you have less bushels than your guarantee, you will get paid the difference.
Okay.
Of course, if there is a price difference because you've got an RP policy, revenue protection policy, that would take into consideration as well.
Okay.
Again, not everybody carries an RP policy, but that is one of the policy types. As I mentioned, there are so many different types of policies that can be put on a soybean field.
Right.
As well as all of the other crops.
So this multi-peril, is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Is this going to be everything from, say, hail, drought, you know, we just dry out, everything dies. Fire, wind damage, lightning damage, early frost, is that all categorized under that, or are some of those separate?
Yes, so actually the end result, if there is damage from any of those perils that you mentioned, would be accounted for under your multi-peril policy. But if you want to buy a hail policy in addition to your multi-peril policy, you've got extra coverage from a hailstorm that might pass through. And we know we've had a little bit of hail damage for the growing season.
There's been a couple of good hailstorms that wiped out 30 to 50% of some fields, thankfully south of us. But as we're walking through here, I mean, we got leaves that are just Is this hail from the hail, or what's going on with this?
So these are actually bugs, and if you can see, like right down here on this spot, where the vein has not been separated from the
well,
from the
I
rest
just
of the plant.
separated it now, but hail.
The way that works is a bug will not eat through
Really?
the veins. It'll work around the veins and eat all the foliage, but it will not eat through the veins. And so
interesting.
A hailstone, of course, that'll just eat through whatever it wants.
It doesn't care.
Correct.
It just goes right through.
Exactly. So based on looking at this, I don't think that you guys have had any hail out here.
You know, that's thankful, or at least hail big enough to do damage. We got strong beans out here. They're doing good.
Yeah, you've got a really nice crop. I think that you, with a little bit more moisture throughout the rest of the growing season,
Yeah.
I think you guys have got a really nice crop out here.
You know, I really appreciate that. We've been trying hard on it, and we're hoping for good things, and I'm really looking forward to what the harvest is going to be and what our yield is, because everyone knows I'm shooting for 65. Everyone keeps telling me no, but I'm telling you, look at my beans, people. They look good.
I will be waiting for you to report back. Soybeans are super resilient.
I'm surprised at how hard the stems are.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just flimsy little beans.
We're in one soybean field, and just the number of different policy types that you can have on your soybeans, whether it's level of coverage or specific policy type or additional coverages. Like, there's so much to each crop and each type of crop.
Right.
So it's just, there's so much information when it comes to crop insurance, and I think that especially if you're a new farmer and you've not taken out a crop insurance policy before, an MPCI policy, it's pretty fascinating to sit down and break down the entire policy.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it that people have no idea about.
Yes. And it, like I said, whether it's the level of coverage or the type of policy, and then those additional policies, like I mentioned with the hail and all of that, there's just so many different types. And so,
well, we didn't even talk about prevented
plant. Yeah, I know that falls in your MPCI policy as well. And so I think that, you know, if you hear your neighbors say, well, my beans, I got hail and I got paid 100%. 100% of what?
Right.
What type of a policy did you take? Did you take a really good policy and you still got a great crop? Or did you take an average policy and your field was completely wiped out?
Right.
And so there's so much information around each policy type. And to me, that's what's the most fascinating about it.
Oh, I bet. Hey, speaking of that, you mentioned, you know, people who have never taken out a policy before. What if someone they've had insurance before, and in our case, we never have. I have no idea how it works. Let's say we did have hail damage. How does that whole work? Filing for a claim? What does that step look like?
Yeah, so once we as the insurance agents sit down and visit with you, and we select a policy type that you are comfortable with, and you've got the ability to put within a certain limit, and that varies per crop, per county, I apologize, it varies per state, per crop.
Okay.
The limit of insurance. So let's say you wanted to put $250 of hail insurance on your soybeans. You'd have the ability to do that, and we would be able to elect whatever policy type you select. Again, there's like 15 or 20 different policy types on hail that you can put on soybeans. So with that being said, once we've got that policy in place, and let's say a dark cloud comes over and we get some hail, at that point you call us as your agents and you say, I had hail on my soybeans, can you open a claim? So we go ahead and open a claim, and then an adjuster is assigned from the company that we're working with on your policy, and they come out and do a field inspection.
Okay.
And you might have heard me say, if a field was deferred and we're doing a final inspection. What that means is if there is damage out here and maybe some severe bruising on the stem, or a lot of leaf loss or cutoffs on the plant in the earlier stages, or in later stages we've also seen like pod loss, that all contributes to your ending bushels. How many bushels are you going to lose off of this hailstorm? And that's what that hail policy will give you, that extra layer of coverage that you wouldn't get with your multi-peril policy. So at that point, yeah, the adjuster comes out, they make their assessment, they submit your claim if you guys agree on the number, and that's where you collect your indemnity.
Peekaboo. Hey there guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, drop them down below in the comment box. If you want to see more of this Here We Grow series, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you in the next episode coming out on Friday.